Hi, friends. I had a wonderful conversation earlier today with a client and student, and some really kind of powerful stuff came out of it. And I'm it's one of those times when it's like I just get to remember how grateful I am to do this kind of work and to be that this is my life. It's sort of it's a real privilege. And one of the, because it's like, again, it's like one of these it's one of the ways that it's evidence of the fact that we can set up our lives to walk exactly the path we want to walk. Even if it's not obvious where that path is going, or that there is a path there. That's kind of the big one when we're a little more on the self-guided side of the spectrum. I think one of the big affirmations is there is a path here, and the fact that I have a life where I get to do this incredible work with amazing people who are, in my opinion, truly wrestling with the essence of life. What is this about? All the stuff I talk about here, I get to work with other people who are also interested in asking those questions, in investigating that wisdom, that information, and exploring that territory. So I guess part of me is just grateful for that today. And one of the things that came up that I found sort of, it's a little spark of inspiration. I'll be working with someone, thinking maybe I'm responding here and there, and all of a sudden an insight will crystallize. For example, today there was a recognition of the fact that, as we get into doing kind of deep inner work, especially as we begin to make changes in our life and or become conscious of certain patterns in our life, we start to see the way we do things. We start to see our own programming really kind of come into view. Boing, hello all my patterns. A little meditation goes a long way. It's funny, Joe Dispenza makes a joke about how when people start meditating, they generally think they're doing it wrong, because what you hear about meditation is that it relieves stress, it clears your mind, it calms you down, it leads to better sleep, and all these these sort of like relax. It sounds like it's a spa for your whole psyche. But most people's initial experience of meditation is that the layer of gunk that we have plastered to ourselves comes off, and we go, oh my God, what is that? And we start to you start to see all the details of what's been running us, and it's can be horrifying, or at the very least unsettling. Not like relaxing into a pool of clear bliss, not like what the pictures of meditators on the walls of yoga studios would lead us to believe the experience of meditation was going to be like. And even after years of meditating, assuming that we're still here, assuming that we haven't transcended the world, there's always new stuff coming up. And so as we dig into that, there tends to be a kind of discomfort. There's always another layer of, what do I get to look at today? And one of the interesting things about intention is that we can do whatever we want with it. We can have an intention that is completely at odds with where our soul is trying to go. And we can maintain that intention for years, damn it, if we really want to. And that's kind of an amazing feature, I guess, of a human being, of a human psyche. Isn't it kind of incredible that we can decide to be totally out of alignment with our deeper needs? I mean, that's kind of a miracle. There's got to be something valuable in that, because otherwise, if our intention were always in alignment with what we most deeply need, then there'd really be no such thing as spiritual practice. Everyone would, with perfect equanimity, my intention would be in alignment with what I need, and I grow to fruition. I'm not saying that is not beautiful, but if it weren't possible to not do that, there would be almost no meaning or no value in the alignment of intention and the kind of deeper journey that we're on. So, this is a very long-winded way of saying, my insight today was, part of the job that we have when we're in a place of existential crisis, which I'm sort of, I think I'm officially out of mine in a weird way. I've had several realizations in the last couple of days, last several weeks really, but culminating in the last, 5-6 days maybe, and I've shared them on this post, where I'm not saying there aren't still things I'm struggling with in some ways, but a lot of the charge has gone out of that, of what I was calling my existential crisis. And this realization of today is kind of a recognition of what one of the things that has happened, and one of the things I've been doing all along is asking the question, well, what does my intention want to be? What is this set of circumstances asking for? What am I being asked to experience? What am I being asked to do? What am I being asked to think about? So that I can bring my intention back into a place where it's serving that. It's serving those needs. What I've talked about over the last couple of weeks about the way in which I've used piano practice as a sort of almost kind of proxy capsule for making progress, because piano it's infinitely challenging, and it's an infinitely vast, endless pursuit. We'll never get to the end of piano practice, but it gives me these little supplement capsules of growth. Because if I learn a piece, or if I master a technical challenge or a passage even, I experience growth. But is that growth actually in alignment with my deeper self? And what I have articulated over the last couple of days is that it's easy for me to kind of close out the bigger picture and go into these little micro doses of growth at the expense of greater growth. And again, not, believe me, as someone who's literally rolling out a piano course, I'm not dissing piano practice. I'm just saying that almost anything can become the distraction if our intention is sort of, if we're not really always available to look at what does this moment want from me. And one of the things that came out of my session this morning with this friend, and as I talk about it, I'm recognizing it's also kind of the culmination of the last several weeks of my own work, is listening to that, listening to that body of sometimes churning experience, and asking, what is it saying? Where is it? What does it provoke my will to take on? Because my intention is going to lead me. That's going to be the thing consciously. That's where wherever my intention is, that's where I'm going to go. So finding that alignment and taking the time to listen. Knowing that sometimes the intention is just listening. Just being available to receive. Doing has its place, and it's overrated. It does not need to be our full-time occupation. The listening and the kind of delicate probing of where our intention wants to go is a huge part of this. So, yeah, it's a wonderful thing to kind of see and to realize, oh yeah, that's what I've kind of been doing for the last several weeks. And by, part of me calling my circumstances an existential crisis and kind of naming it was giving myself permission to be there, and to not know and to be a little uncomfortable, even as everything in me wanted to know, wanted to be able to just hook into the next thing and grab and put the next flag in the ground, being willing to say, I don't think I know yet. Because, yeah, the human intention is so powerful. It can block out a lot of what we're here to receive if we're not, A, aware that can happen, and B, willing to take a chill pill. Thanks, folks. Appreciate you. Much love. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.